Hi, beautiful people. I hope that your Monday was great. So, it took me a while to kind of decide what I was going to share with you guys today. I found it interesting that Pete Hegseth and Elon Musk spoke at Starbase. I find this interesting. I'm going to get through it. There's a lot that's going on, and everything I share is for educational purposes, meant for conversation. I found this a little interesting, so I'm going to get through the video this time and then give my commentary because there's a lot of things going on in this country right now. Okay. All right. I'm going to get to it. Hopefully my sound is okay. Oh, let me see. Let me go here. What's good, Chakra King Black? I hope to get through this video. Hey, Louis Chancellor, how are you doing? Hey, you guys. All right, you guys. Let me get right into it. Hey, Lionel. Did you hear the speech with Elon Musk and oh, I got something in my eye. Elon Musk and Pete Hegseth? I'm fine, Lionel. How are you doing? How are you doing? So, you guys, because I'm having some mic issues as usual sometimes, I'm going to go on mute and I'm going to play this video and I will communicate with you guys from my chat. You doing okay, Louis? Okay. Hey, Quinn, I'm sorry, Quinn. Terrence Harris, how are you? All right, you guys, let me get into this. I'm fine. How are you doing, my friend? I found an edited version of this that was a little bit shorter because honestly, this whole event was like 2.5 hours. We're not about to sit here for 2.5 hours listening to Elon Musk. His relationship with Donald Trump is interesting. I'm going to get right into it. You're good, Lionel? Politics, Chakra King. Yeah. How you doing, Chakra King? Bye. Okay, y'all, let's get into this video. Let me know what you think. I'm not ignoring you guys on my phone. I'm communicating with you guys so I don't interrupt my video. Okay. All right, let's go. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll communicate with you guys that way.
Seeing Elon Musk is stepping up to the podium at an event in Texas. He's going to be joined with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. This is live.
This is a city. It's actually legally a city that, thanks to the hard work of the SpaceX team, we built out of nothing, and is now a gigantic rocket manufacturing system. So, and for people out there who are curious to see it, we're actually on a public highway, so you can come and visit and drive down the road and see the epic hardware. So, I think this is the first time that a rocket development program has actually been on a public highway. So you can come and see the epic stuff. We're honored today to have the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and much of the senior leadership of the Pentagon here. It's an honor to have them visit. We just did a tour of the factory, and I think it really helps illustrate how manufacturing and manufacturing at scale is critical to the strength of America. So, and I'll tell you a little bit just about the purpose of SpaceX. It's like we want to make Star Trek real. Okay? We want to make Starfleet Academy real. So that it's not always science fiction, but one day the science fiction turns to science fact. And we have spaceships going through space, big spaceships, with people going to other planets, going to the moon, and ultimately going beyond our star system to other star systems where we may meet aliens or discover long-dead alien civilizations. I don't know, but we want to go and we want to see what's happening, and we want to have epic futuristic spaceships with lots of people in them, traveling to places we've never been to before. Yeah, that's that's the goal. And that's what I think the public thinks of when they think of Space Force. So on that note, I'd like to introduce the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth.
Thank you. Elon, appreciate it. Thank you very much. How about this? Star Trek real.
Star Trek real. Yes.
Appreciate it. I love it. Well, what a tour. What an opportunity to be here at Starbase, Texas, with Elon and the SpaceX team. There's nothing like this in America. There's nothing like this in the world. And what you have built and what you will build here is a testament to the strength of American ingenuity and American invention. So I want to thank all of you, all the folks out here for having us today. Elon, thank you so much for hosting us, for what you've built, for the vision you have for this company, the vision you have for our country, the vision you have for American innovation. I could not think of a more fitting venue to continue our Arsenal of Freedom tour and to outline today the future of technological innovation at the War Department. Those of you here at SpaceX will appreciate this, knowing that as World War II was ending, the Secretary of War and Secretary of the Navy wrote to the National Academy of Sciences and declared that scientific research was essential to our national security. To ensure continued preparedness, they wrote, the research scientists of the United States must be called upon to continue in peacetime some substantial portion, that of which they have made so effectively the President Navy many decades ago recognized the importance that innovation and readiness holds for our national security. They knew what was at stake, the very freedoms of the country we hold dear. All across the United States today, extraordinary innovation is unlocking new possibilities for freedom, prosperity, and security. Now, the question before us is not whether or not the most powerful technologies of the century will reinforce free societies. Is it going to reinforce our free societies, or will that technology be shaped and twisted by malign regimes that seek to use those technologies for control and coercion? You see, over the past several months, I've talked at length about the challenges we face in transforming the War Department to address current and future missions, all in service of meeting the needs of the 21st century warfighter. I'd like to think we've already made dramatic progress in the Pentagon's culture by reviving the warrior ethos, and we're moving out quickly in transforming our acquisition ecosystem as well. But today is about how we supercharge innovation at the War Department for the era ahead. Innovation is happening at a pace we can't even foresee, and we need the entire enterprise, our enterprise, to embrace the urgency required for this moment. Since the end of the Cold War, the defense industrial base in our country has consolidated. This makes it difficult, if not impossible, for new creators of technical innovations to win business at our department. The result is a risk-averse culture that prevents us from providing our warfighters with the best resources that America has to offer. That ends today. Simply put, the United States must win the strategic competition for 21st century technological supremacy. Artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, quantum, hypersonics, and long-range drones. If you talk to Elon Musk long enough, he will tell you how important hypersonics and long-range drones are, and he's 100% correct. Space capabilities, directed energy, and biotechnology are the new areas of global competition. The challenge is that our legacy approach to technological development assumes that technology moves in a predictable, linear conveyor belt from lab to design to development to prototype to test and qualify to program of record, and can only be provided by a handful of companies that have consolidated dramatically. Now, while this system provided us with the weapons that won the Cold War, it is archaic and inconsistent with the novel threat environment that we face today. At its core, this old approach has the hubris to assume that you can easily predict the future. that you could foresee how an invention becomes a weapon in 8 easy steps, 3 decades from first discovery. Our system cannot keep treating innovation as a decades-long, one-way march that dramatically reduces who and what is able to run the gauntlet at our department to get the capability to the warfighter. Until this administration, the Trump administration, the department's process for fielding new capabilities had become just one more post-Cold War peace dividend relic that has not kept up with the times. Worse than that, we've done nothing but add layer upon layer of committees and councils that coordinated but never decided. We created endless projects with no accountable owners. We have high churn with little progress and few outputs. That sounds about like the exact opposite of SpaceX. We treated innovation as a box to check, not an outcome to deliver. In short, when it comes to our current threat environment, we are playing a dangerous game with potentially fatal consequences. We need innovation to come from anywhere and evolve with speed and purpose. You see, America's open scientific community is an advantage authoritarian regimes cannot replicate. They can read our scientific papers and copy our invention or distill our AI models, but they cannot replicate a culture like this one of open and distributed research. We need to be blunt here. We can no longer afford to wait a decade for our legacy prime contractors to deliver the next perfect system, only to find that it's delivered years behind schedule and cost 10 times what it should. Winning requires a new playbook. Elon wrote it with his algorithm. Question every requirement, delete the dumb ones, and accelerate like hell. That's why I want to make clear across the War Department and for our partners in the private sector that our Undersecretary of War for Research and Engineering, Emil Michael, right here in the front row, is the War Department's single chief technology officer, one CTO for the entire enterprise. Novel concept. As the sole CTO, Emil will set the technical direction, lead the innovation ecosystem that will welcome progress from anywhere it resides. And he'll tell me, face to face, every day, and frankly, whether we are gaining or losing the technology and innovation competition. He'll have the decision authority and will lead through rigorous evaluation with a focus on real, measurable outcomes. Now, Congress, and we have many members of Congress with us here today, will be our partner in this. By affirming the Undersecretary's role as the department's CTO, we're carrying out the core mission for R&E that Congress assigned in statute. The last defense bill expanded the CTO's authorities, including the power to direct military departments and other components to align around clear, innovative outcomes. We will use them to deliver those outcomes with speed and urgency. An empowered CTO will inject a disruptive mindset directly into our systems, directing the power of America's world-leading scientists and entrepreneurs, our cutting-edge labs, the tech ecosystem, and our capital markets to build what the warfighter needs, but to do so better, faster, and cheaper. And Emil is the right man to do it. You see, this isn't about military structure. This is about building an innovation pipeline that cuts through the overgrown bureaucratic underbrush and clears away the debris, Elon style, preferably with a chainsaw, and to do so at speed and urgency that meets the moment. As I've said repeatedly to every audience, the President of the United States and I have the backs of our warfighters who have to make split-second life and death decisions on the battlefield. And I want this audience to know that we also have the backs of innovators who share that very same urgency. American taxpayers, especially those parents whose sons and daughters have answered the call to serve, I swore in 10 more today, demand, and I demand, and we demand, that we arm our warfighters with overwhelming and lethal technology right now, not a decade from now. In modern warfare, the fastest innovator and iterator will be the winner. And no one can out-innovate an American entrepreneur who has been liberated from the constraints of stifling bureaucracy. That old era ends today. We are done running a peacetime science fair while our potential adversaries are running a wartime arms race. Right now, from garage startups to factory floors to boardrooms across our nation, the question of how to harness innovation coming out of America's AI ecosystem is front and center, and rightfully so, because it has the potential to disrupt and transform every area of human endeavor. The same is true in the Department of War. President Trump's AI executive order spells out our approach succinctly. It is the policy of the United States to sustain and enhance America's global AI dominance in defense of human flourishing, economic competitiveness, and national security. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the War Department's mission. We must ensure that America's military AI dominance so that no adversary can exploit that same technology to hold our national security interests or our citizens at risk. America first in every domain. Last month, I took the first step toward changing how the department does business with frontier AI technologies when we announced the rollout of Gen AI with our partners from Google. And I want to thank the Google team for leaning forward and making the investment to get their Gemini app to about 3 million users in the War Department. But today, we're excited to announce the next frontier AI model company to join GenAI.mil, and that is Grok from xAI, which will go live later this month. So I want to thank you, Elon, and your incredible team for leaning forward with us on this as well. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department. Long overdue. To further that, today at my direction, we're executing an AI acceleration strategy that will extend our lead in military AI established during President Trump's first term. This strategy will unleash experimentation, eliminate bureaucratic barriers, focus on investments, and demonstrate the execution approach needed to ensure we lead in military AI and that it grows more dominant into the future. In short, we will win this race by becoming an AI-first warfighting force across all domains, from the back offices of the Pentagon to the tactical edge on the front lines. The catalyst for this acceleration will be 7 pace-setting projects focused on mission threads across warfighting, intelligence, and enterprise missions, each with a single, accountable leader, aggressive timelines, and measurable outcomes that answer a familiar question, Elon. What have you accomplished this week? This is the execution standard for AI-first transformation. Each of the 7 pace-setting projects will use the following model. 1 owner who reports monthly on their progress. These projects will not be run in a vacuum, but will work directly with warfighters and transition partners to ensure we incorporate real-time operational feedback. We expect rapid iterations with failure accelerating the learning curve. These are not science projects. They are not governance boards. They are the execution standard for the entire department. We will not win the future by sprinkling AI onto old tactics like digital pixie dust. We will win by discovering entirely new ways of fighting. That's why we will run continuous experimentation campaigns, quarterly force-on-force combat labs with AI-coordinated swarms, agent-based cyber defense, and distributed command and control, pushing the envelope, learning from failure at every stop, which is exactly what this place does. You see, our department doesn't accept failure in the past, and so we never fail, which means we never learn. We're flipping that dynamic. Before talking about the new rules of the game, let me talk about a little bit more about our new team, because no game can be won without the right team. And we're proud to announce that Mr. Cameron Stanley has been appointed the new Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Officer, CDAO, of our War Department. Cam will be leading a new team, many of whom have foregone, thank you, or left lucrative careers at pioneer companies such as AWS, Databricks, Palantir, and Meta to join the fight. This team will not only provide a catalyst for change in this department, but will also act, we believe, as a magnet for other talented members of the tech community who want to join us in doing the mission-focused work to protect our great republic. So let's talk about the new rules. First, speed. Speed wins. Speed dominates. Our enterprise currently operates on staffing and committee cycles measured in months and years, and that's unacceptable. Military AI is going to be a race for the foreseeable future, where the risks to U.S. national security of moving too slowly outweigh the impacts of imperfect alignment. To do this, Cam and his team at CDAO will define AI deployment velocity metrics for all the pace-setting projects in the next 30 days and report at least monthly after that. These will become the new benchmarks for programs across the department. Second, bureaucratic blockers. If you work with Elon, you know he finds the blockers and you remove them. We will take a wartime approach to people and policies that block this progress. You want to block? You can work somewhere else. Barriers to data sharing, authority to operate, or ATOs, test and evaluation, and contracting are now treated as operational risks, not simply bureaucratic inconveniences. We are blowing up these barriers. That's why today, at my direction, I'm establishing a barrier removal SWAT team under R&E with the authority to waive non-statutory requirements and escalate to our great Deputy Secretary, Steve Feinberg, anything that slows down the acceleration of AI capabilities. Third, compute resource. We will invest heavily in expanding our access to AI compute, from data centers to the tactical edge, and will tap into hundreds of billions of dollars in private capital flowing into American AI. President Trump's executive order has directed us to build data centers on military land and to work with the Department of Energy to ensure that we dramatically increase the number and breadth of resources needed to power this computing infrastructure. We will work together with our partners at Google and AWS and Oracle and SpaceX, Microsoft, and others on these initiatives. Fourth pillar, especially in this room, you'll understand it, is talent. We will use every hiring and pay authority available to us to bring the best American technical talent and reward effective AI transformations by our workforce. We're going to heavily leverage President Trump's Tech Force initiative to bring in the best and brightest from industry and academia. With people like Elon, David Sachs, Emil, Mike, and others from the entrepreneurial and business world already in government, we have shown that we can and that we must enlist the world's leading talent in this cause. Fifth, responsible AI. Today, I want to clarify what responsible AI means at the Department of War. Gone are the days of equitable AI and other DEI and social justice infusions that constrain and confuse our employment of this technology. Effective immediately, responsible AI at the War Department means objectively truthful AI capabilities employed securely and within the laws governing the activities of the department. We will not employ AI models that won't allow you to fight wars. We will judge AI models on this standard alone. Factually accurate, mission relevant, without ideological constraints that limit lawful military applications. Department of War AI will not be woke. It will work for us. We're building war-ready weapons and systems, not chatbots for an Ivy League faculty lounge. Sixth, and finally, data. AI is only as good as the data that feeds it. And the U.S. military has an asymmetric data advantage from 2 decades of military and intelligence operations that no other military in the world can replicate. In my direction, CDAO will exercise its full authority to enforce the DOW data decrees and make all appropriate data available across federated IT systems for AI exploitation, including mission systems across every service and component. Each service secretary and component head will submit catalogs of their current data assets to the CDAO within 30 days. Denials of data access requests will be reported to the CTO within 7 days, and they better have a good justification. Today, I'm also directing the Undersecretary for Intelligence and Security, Brad Hansel, to ensure appropriate data from across our intelligence enterprise receives the same treatment and can be fully leveraged to warfighting capability development and operational advantage. AI is only as good as the data that it receives, and we're going to make sure that it's there. Persistent barriers to data access will be escalated to the Deputy Secretary of War for resolution, with authority to reassign or terminate personnel or withhold funding from non-compliant activities within the statutory limits. We'll be clear here. As I said, data hoarding is now a national security risk, and we will treat it that way. AI is an important part of the future, but here's another truth that we've ignored for too long. Beyond AI, we've treated every other kind of innovation as if they're the same. As you know, they're not. We need to break down unnecessary barriers to rapid technological development, adoption, and transition. Some of you will remember this. A generation ago, one of my predecessors, in a dinner speech to industry now infamously known as the Last Supper, advocated for the consolidation of our defense industrial base. This consolidation created a closed innovation ecosystem dominated by just a handful of prime contractors. The results have been characterized by soaring costs, sluggish delivery, and stagnant innovation. That's what President Trump's recent executive order on the defense industrial base and defense companies seeks to address. It makes crystal clear that the priority of the legacy prime contractors must be our nation's national security, not the next earnings call. That means less focus on stock buybacks and more investment on the men and women on the factory floor. It means less stockholder dividends and more investment in infrastructure, plant, and equipment. Today, that old era comes to an end. The Department of War is reopening to the disruptive energy and agile creativity of our nation's tech startups, funded by our world's leading capital markets. I'm directing my Chief Technology Officer to lead this charge, and his wingman, as always in this effort, Undersecretary for Acquisitions and Sustainment, Mike Duffy. For too long, we organized our ecosystem around stages and silos, labs over here, so-called rapid units over there, commercial outreach in a different building or on another coast altogether, and warfare fighters somewhere at the end, almost an afterthought. The result is duplication, drift, and confusion. And like the acquisition process we are already fixing, the creation of organizations to work around the problems in the innovation ecosystem rather than taking the bold steps needed to transform it. We created an old ecosystem to get around the actual system. No more. Every dollar of innovation, whether it may be in a lab or a startup or a classified shop, must exist to deliver one of 3 things: game-changing technology, scalable products, or new ways of fighting. If it's not doing one of those 3 things at speed, it will be realigned or it will go away. And that's why I'm entrusting Emil as the CTO to ensure that this directive across the department is rapidly carried out. Emil, you're going to be busy. Again, what we're talking about today is a transformation in the way we think about innovation. In requirements reform led by Mike Duffy, we killed an old model a sclerotic model, and rewired the department so that problems, money, and experimentation live in one system. In acquisitions reform, we killed the defense acquisition system and created accountable portfolio acquisition executives, making speed to delivery our organizing principle. We're going to do the same for technological innovation. That's why today at my direction, we are ending the alphabet soup of councils that meet and brief and write memos and schedule meetings, but never decide and rarely, if ever, accelerate outcomes. Effective immediately, the Defense Innovation Steering Group, the Defense Innovation Working Group, and the CTO Council are disestablished and abolished. In their place, the CTO will convene a CTO action group to assist him in making decisions, clearing bureaucratic blockers, holding leaders accountable, and most importantly, quickly delivering new technologies to our warfighters. Every organization in this ecosystem must earn its place by delivering warfighting advantages faster than our adversaries can adapt. No sacred cows, no exceptions. To back up the CTO, today at my direction, we are realigning two pillars of the War Department's innovation ecosystem. First, the Defense Innovation Unit, or DIU. Since its establishment 10 years ago, DIU has lived through shifting reporting structures and uneven administrative support, doing great things, but at times its portfolio overlapped with other parts of the department. Effective today, DIU is designated a Department of War field activity, providing exceptional tech scouting, rapid contracting, and other common services to the department, executed at commercial tempo. The CTO will provide support to DIU for administrative and resource matters and ensure that the unit's efforts fit into the department's innovation priorities. The director of DIU will also continue to report directly to me as a principal staff assistant and carry out its statutory duties. And I'm appointing Mr. Owen West, executor of my Drone Dominance Initiative, as the director of DIU starting in March, when the FY27 budget cycle firms up. As a Marine with lots of combat experience, Owen will bring a warfighter's mentality to DIU's core mission of transitioning technology to our troops. Owen also has the private capital experience needed to ensure DIU remains working hand in glove with the venture and investor communities and continues to on-ramp new entrants into the War Department. Owen led DOGE at DOW, the most effective DOGE effort across the administration, saving tens of billions of dollars for our department, and now he will lead DIU. Our world-leading defense tech startups have attracted billions of dollars in capital. They're reshaping warfare through the proliferation of high-tech, low-cost technologies. DIU's mission is to accelerate the adoption of this commercial technology to help convert entrepreneurial products into tangible combat power. Second, the Strategic Capabilities Office, or SCO, is also being designated a Department of War field activity aligned under the CTO. SCO will maintain focus on its core mission of identifying and prototyping disruptive applications of new systems, the unconventional uses of existing systems, and near-term technologies to create strategic effects. SCO will continue to maintain its statutory direct reporting relationship to the Deputy Secretary, but will be operationally realigned under the CTO to eliminate duplication and ensure the relentless daily focus on delivering near and medium-term capabilities to our warfighters. Relentless urgency and focus is our focus. Today's defense innovation ecosystem is too fragmented, resulted in insufficient technology transition to the warfighter. We address some of this in the transformation we are making in the acquisitions ecosystem, but it also needs to enter the innovation ecosystem. For too long, and I know a lot of you have experienced this, and others we met with in Los Angeles recently, the experience of founders and entrepreneurs has been running endless laps around the Pentagon looking for the right office, the right program, and the right motivated sponsor. And too often, new entrants are ultimately stymied by the bureaucracy. We hear it time and time again. They don't know where to go, and then when they go to that place, it's not the right place to go. Then they go somewhere else that didn't want them in the first place, and the lap continues. For example, SpaceX and Palantir had to sue the Department of War just to get a shot at competing for department contracts. The bottom line is that new entrants need both a shot on goal, but also faster yeses and faster nos from the department, rather than being strung along with a never-ending stream of rudderless maybes. At the Secretary of War level, we will replace the existing maze into two clear channels. The Mission Engineering and Integration Activity, MIA, will tell industry what problems we're trying to solve, and DIU will help program offices adopt what industry has already built. This will help get to faster yeses or faster nos. Clear guidance, clear guide rails, clear demand signal, which is what industry and capital expects. Now, this isn't just an Office of the Secretary reform. The services need to transform their innovation ecosystems as well: the Army, the Navy, the Space Force, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force. That's why today, at my direction, our military services will take the following actions. Within 90 days, the secretaries of the military departments will brief the CTO on service innovation plans, how they will consolidate, streamline, and refocus their labs, research expertise, experimental units, and rapid capability offices around 3 innovation outcomes. Our 60-plus labs are a national asset, but it's past time they were organized to deliver and not just to discover. And beginning with the fiscal year 2028 budget, every portfolio acquisition executive will fund an innovation insertion increment, III, dedicated money for the last mile, integration test, and rapid insertion of validation solutions into fielded systems. Innovation cannot be centralized, and it should not be. In fact, hope it's okay I name them, but just this past weekend I received an email, a proposal from an Army captain named Drennan Green, who I've known for a while. He had a detailed plan about how he and his unit wants to deploy AI. Innovation can and should come from anywhere and anyone, wherever those best ideas reside. We're going to bring that good captain in and hear from him. How can we apply those tools in his unit and other units, bottom up, not just top down? The military services and program offices own the last mile. And to that end, I'm directing the services to establish that III, innovation insertion increment, within the budgets of all program portfolios. This will ensure that they have funds set aside to quickly integrate innovations during weapons system development. This will be a tool to free new, innovative, cutting-edge weapons and improvements from the constraints of yearly budget cycles. Here you iterate in terms of hours and days, maybe weeks. In Washington, we talk in terms of months, years, and oftentimes multi-years. It's too slow. The CTO ecosystem will give them the supply. Services are contributors to this ecosystem, not bystanders. They must deliver outcomes, and they must deliver overmatch. And speaking of budgets and budget cycles, you may have seen President Trump's truth post of a few days ago. He's proposing a $1.5 trillion budget for the War Department in fiscal year 27. This is by far the most ever in our history, a historic and generational investment in American security. We will not squander this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rebuild our military. Think of what this means as our efforts to transform the department come fully online. You add resources and you streamline process, speed to deliver those capabilities to the warfighter, an invitation to new entrants into the defense industry, which we need so badly, and an embrace of AI and other cutting-edge defense tech. All of this will make our forces more agile, more lethal, and more ready to deter and, if necessary, win a future fight. This is what President Trump demands, and this is what we will deliver. This feeds into a next area we need to fix. You see, reorganizing and a new attitude are not enough to truly unlock innovation for the warfighter. Our department needs to capitalize on a key advantage America has over her adversaries: the broadest and deepest capital markets and the best entrepreneurial talent in the world. You know this, capital is the lifeblood of American innovation. And therefore, to be successful, we need to embrace the role in our department of private capital, which we have not done for far too long. We need to be a better partner for private capital so we can help accelerate capital formation in key areas and lower the risk for the department. Private capital is already helping to solve a major problem that President Trump has directed us to confront and solve across this administration, ending our reliance on competitors for access to rare earth and critical minerals. The Office of Strategic Capital, or OSC, under the leadership of David Lorch, is spearheading those efforts and delivering as we speak. In the past 5 months alone, the OSC team has deployed over $4.5 billion in capital commitments as part of closing 6 critical mineral deals, all of which will help free the United States from market manipulation. Crucially, OSC's strategy relies on crowding in private sector investors, from this VC community to our country's largest financial institutions. The 6 OSC deals to date include nearly $5 billion from our private capital partners. OSC has closed most of those deals in less than 30 days, which is Trump time for complex transactions. That may seem maybe slow for SpaceX. In Washington, that's as fast as it gets. I mean, that is warp speed in Washington. All of our investments serve one purpose: deliver faster for the warfighter. Now, some will want to cynically posit, is this just another innovation reorganization? Another set of strategies that brief well but don't actualize? No. This is the third leg of a single war plan. In fundamentally transforming our acquisition ecosystem, we killed JSIDs that focused only on process and turned the JROC into a body that ranks real-world joint operational problems, not paper requirements. We created the MIA to run experimentation campaigns to solve these problems. We killed the old defense acquisition system and created the warfighting acquisition system to focus on speed, risk, and accountability. With the AI strategy and innovation ecosystem transformation that we have just outlined, we are welding that third piece into place. The CTO, DIU, SCO, DARPA, CDAO, and OSC are no longer a loose federation. They are the Office of the Secretary of War's Innovation Operating System. DARPA delivers game-changing technology innovation and strategic surprise. DIU delivers scalable products. SCO delivers new ways of fighting. And CDAO and OSC provide the data, test, and capital to move at wartime speed. As of today, they are an ecosystem, an arsenal of ideas and action for the arsenal of freedom, wired directly into requirements, portfolios, and production. Game-changing technology, scalable products, new ways of fighting, all three moving at wartime speed. Problems drive experimentation, experimentation flows to prototypes, prototypes flow to our program executives flow these to production, production flows to the warfighter, and the cycle never stops, always iterating. One system, one purpose, speed to the fight. We are preparing to win the future because we know, and you know, for the free world, for the West, the stakes could not be higher. Before this administration, our adversaries may have thought they finally broke American power. They're wrong. They do not have our entrepreneurs. They do not have our capital markets. They do not have our combat-proven operational data from 2 decades of military and intelligence operations. They do not have our hard-won classified technologies. They do not have the ingenuity and tenacity of American warfighters who refuse to lose. They don't have a military that can go 37 hours to downtown Tehran or downtown Caracas without being seen in the process. You see, but none of that matters, however, if we suffocate those advantages under a stifling bureaucracy. That's why we're unifying the innovation ecosystem, making this an AI-first department, and holding every lab, every program accountable, all while pushing every officer to deliver warfighting advantages faster than others can adapt. We will not stop. We will not back down. We will forge the new arsenal of freedom with our partners in industry and the private sector. We believe the future will be shaped by those who lead in technology and innovation. We don't believe, we know. Those who fervently believe in freedom and the Western tradition, like we do, must be those leaders. If not us, if not America, if not the West, then who? And if not now, it will be too late to maintain that advantage. This is not reform for the sake of reform. It never has been. This is about whether our warriors fight with yesterday's tools or they fight overmatching our adversaries using tomorrow's technologies. We know the threat. We know the opportunity. We know what must be done. We share the urgency. Now we will do it, and we must do it at wartime speed. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this company that you've built, and may God bless our great republic. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, what did you think about that? So, oh, thank you, PF Lee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, you guys, what did you think about that? That was a lot going on. So did you guys get the core message? So the necessity of the United States to have technological supremacy in areas like AI, artificial intelligence, for the 21st century warfighter. This is where we're going. Long-range drones, hypersonics, autonomous systems, things like that. This is where we're going. So regardless if you agree with AI or not, we already have artificial intelligence in the emergency rooms. I did not think I would see these robots doing surgeries. So it's only natural for it to be in our military. I think it's necessary. Hegseth wants a run fast approach like Elon Musk. So for his Arsenal of Freedom tour, I found this really interesting and I wanted to share that with you guys. We all know that Donald Trump wants a strong defense. I believe that this is where the world is going. This is necessary. We see it. So what do you guys think about it? Oh, okay. Okay. And there was a lot more to it. There was a lot more. Hooray. So you like it. Okay. They're stealing from our allies. Stealing how? Stealing how? What exactly are they stealing? How is he going to pay for it? Daisha, that's a good question, Carcino. It was interesting, but this is turning us into a third world country. This is for the 21st century warfighter. This is where we're going, and it only makes sense for AI to be involved in it. They're scared of us, but they're not. They're scared of us. Tim O'Neill, that's interesting. Because we are the people. I'm still wondering, what are they stealing? They're stealing oil in Venezuela. They captured the president, Randy. They captured the president in Venezuela. It's a little off subject, but I'll touch it. They captured the president. It's only natural for us to take the oil. We need oil. We have a lot of oil here, but we don't have the reservoirs to produce the oil. So it's only natural. We take the president. We capture the president. The president of Venezuela is on trial. I will be watching that trial and covering it. The people of Venezuela seem happy to me, but I will be watching. I have family in Venezuela. Focus on the good moments. Prayers to you. How are you guys feeling about what happened in Venezuela? So it's natural to steal from him? To steal from who, Christina? Who are we stealing from? Who are we stealing from? We're nowhere near third world. You know what, Dr. Mahan, they use that to scare folks. It's cool they got that dictator. The people were suffering over there. They were suffering, and they were Venezuela, Carcino. They were trafficking fentanyl in this country. Had gangs from their country that was terrorizing American citizens. They were committing war crimes. There has been oh god, my brain's tired. An arrest warrant for Maduro for a while, okay, and he acted like he didn't care. It took President Trump to go over there and capture the president, help the people of Venezuela be free from this dictator, and to hold them accountable for crimes against the United States. Yes, they have oil. We know that they're wealthy in oil over there in Venezuela. And yes, we need oil. But I don't think anybody would complain about the gas prices being lower. I'm all about America first. If you're in this country, I'm about America first and doing what's best for our country. And if you commit crimes against this country, then that's some of the consequences. And Venezuela is just the first stop. He's not the only president that's going to be held accountable. What does that supposed to mean? Girl, bye. Okay. I mean, you guys could disagree with me, but regardless of what you like, regardless of what you think about what happened in Venezuela, I'm wondering, what do you guys think about the crimes that was committed in our country? These other countries get wealthy when things like that happen. They're benefiting, and it's harming American people. We need to control Venezuela oil rather than China. War crimes. I just spoke about that. The drugs that's coming into the country, that came into the country from Venezuela. Donald Trump has fought hard against drug cartels and to stop the flow of fentanyl into the United States. And if the country didn't want to help with that, then Donald Trump tried to negotiate with Maduro before it came to this extreme. He tried to talk to the president of Venezuela, just mocked it, didn't want to listen, and here we are today. He's entitled to a fair trial, though. America first, then take care of the veterans, feed the hungry, don't take away healthcare. Nobody's taking away healthcare. Donald Trump is making healthcare affordable for all Americans. All Americans. And Obamacare was not affordable for all Americans. Oh, okay. What about the crimes we commit against other countries? What crimes do we commit against other countries? If we committed crimes against other countries, wouldn't those countries charge the United States? What about crimes against... Okay. I'm about to kick out of the live stream. Hoopty West, I'm not going to... They shall. Well, I'm not going to kick you guys out for disagreeing with me. I'm not going to kick you guys out for disagreeing with me. This is exactly why I can't talk politics. It's a conversation. I don't know. I don't understand. It's just a conversation. You guys could disagree with me. I live in California, and I'm talking about I'm in healthcare, and I'm telling you, Obamacare is the premiums are high. It's not affordable for all Americans. It's just not. There's a lot of flaws with it. You can look it up. There's a lot of flaws with Obamacare. I'm not trying to offend anybody by talking about it, but that's a fact. And we need something that is more practical, that's going to offer more health plans. More providers will be a part of it. There's not a lot of providers that accept Obamacare because they don't pay the doctors enough to do it and to give you quality care. There's a lot of problems with Obamacare. There just is. I thought we were talking about AI. Louis Chancellor, I'm just answering the questions from the chat. You liberals can't say stuff without going into detail on how or why you've come to that conclusion. Explain yourself. Good day. I have to agree with that. Instead of making it better, just stop it and kick people off. No, Desha, I do believe that there should be something in its place. I do believe in healthcare for Americans. affordable. That's why I did not like, I mean, that's why I did agree with why the government shut down, because the plan, which the Democrats don't like to say, not trying to offend the Democrats in my chat, but to give trillions of dollars to illegal immigrants to provide for healthcare. We already provide for them when they go to the emergency rooms. They take a toll on our healthcare system and the economy. So yes, there should be something in place of that that's better. But there's a lot of flaws with Obamacare. It's a good idea. Americans, have to have insurance, but there's a lot of flaws with it. You have to have providers willing to take Obamacare, which means you have to pay the providers, and those premiums, a lot of the premiums was higher than a regular doctor visit, like Seattle Clinic. That's all I'm saying. Druggies will fight. How dare you hate Trump like these morons? Who said I hated Trump? Was that for me? Who said I hated Donald Trump? So anyways, Obamacare is flawed. And I'm only talking about what I know. Affordable health care in Americans was stolen in Minnesota. There was a question from Minnesota that I was trying to answer, but the comment went by too fast. If you think Nicolas Maduro deserves a trial instead of being thrown out of a plane like he did to reporters that wouldn't fall, everybody that comes to the United States is entitled to a trial. Hoopty West. I didn't say I agree with it, but that's how it is. He's entitled to a trial. I will be watching this trial. I think it's interesting. If he is found guilty, he's facing a life sentence here in the United States. And regardless if I think he's entitled or not, I do believe in the Constitution, and that's what the law is. So if we don't like it, then we have to change the law. But the Affordable Health Care Act is ran by the government. That means that Republicans are in charge. So they have been using the same Affordable Health Care Act that has been in place since Obama. If you guys want to talk about affordable health care, I don't mind doing a stream on that. Yes, it is in place. And it came under Barack Obama. We know that. And Republicans were not didn't have control of Congress when that happened. Yes, we have control now, but at that time we did not. And President Trump has been trying to revise it since he's been in office. We all know, I mean, a lot of people understand the Affordable Care Act. That's why Donald Trump calls it the Unaffordable Care Act, because there's a lot of flaws and not all Americans can afford it. He has broken several parts of the Constitution. Impeach Trump because he's orange. And Jimmy Hoopty was, man. I really thought we was on the same page on a lot of stuff. Impeach Trump. Why would we impeach Donald Trump? Even if Donald Trump was impeached, God forbid, it doesn't mean he's not the only president to be impeached. And we have not seen a sitting president removed from office. Donald Trump is doing a lot for this country. And I find it interesting that Republicans, when President Obama was in office, you didn't see us out protesting. You didn't see us fighting against his order. Of course, there's a process in Congress, but I feel that what they're doing with Donald Trump has a lot on his plate. He gets a lot of criticism, but he still gets the job done. He gets the job done. We voted for illegal immigrants to be out of the country, and that's what is happening. And I think it's time that we put America first, because Americans have put every other country first. We give it to a lot of other countries with very little in return. So it's nice that Donald Trump is putting American interests first. And I'm not really sure why there's so much pushback, except to pad the Democratic vote. That's the only reason why you would want illegal immigration here and open borders is not because they're going to vote Republican. And those are the problems. People don't really want to say why they want open borders and why they're fighting so hard against Donald Trump. It seems as if Donald Trump does something, everyone fights against it. But if it was a Democratic president, then people would just go for it and love it. No president is perfect. There's good and bad on both sides. I find it problematic that the political left wants to criticize everything that Donald Trump does and praise everything that Biden does and the Democratic presidents before Donald Trump. So I'm not really understanding the arguments there. Impeach away. You got 3 years. You don't remember how they did Obama? Daisha, I do remember. But a lot of the things that Obama did, and I wish I would have set up this video, but I'll do it when I talk about Minnesota again. Obama has deported a lot of illegal immigrants. Obama has used his executive orders. Obama did a lot. All presidents, every president is going to receive criticism. Don't care who you are, don't care how good you are, presidents are going to receive criticism, okay? But you still have to run a country, you still have to rise above it and do what you got to do and get the job done. I'm 45 and I'm already having a hard time on some things, if it's AI or not, right? Tim O'Neill. Don't even say Epstein, because we already know that if he was implicated in any crimes, he already been in that's right, Hoopty West. Absolutely. Not everything Trump does is perfect or right, and most Republicans can't admit that. Get a liberal to admit they're wrong about anything. I'm not sure where you're going with that, Chupa. Trump was the only option for America in 2024, and I'm not mad. Harris ran a bad campaign. She ran a bad campaign. Number one, she entered too late. She wasn't elected. It was like our choices. Now, I'm always going to lean towards the conservative side, all right? But I'm still going to vote for the best person for the country, okay? And Harris and this whole open borders, the whole thing with the genders and men playing in women's sports, men being able to become, there was a lot of flaws with that America was not ready for. It was a very liberal approach, and America just wasn't having it. That's why Donald Trump won all swing states. And Donald Trump, we already knew what Donald Trump was going to do. Donald Trump laid it out. A lot of people voted for it. So that's what we're seeing. Democrats forget how to campaign. So we elected a crook. How, Daisha? How is Donald Trump a crook? I don't like Vice Chancellor. I don't like Obama or Joe Biden, but they were our presidents, and I respect the office, even though I don't like the president. When Obama was in office, I respected President Obama. I supported President Obama because he was the commander-in-chief. I support the commander-in-chief because I believe in a strong society, and it's unstable to fight against the president. I'm not saying that. No, we all know Donald Trump is not a dictator. If Donald Trump was a dictator, you wouldn't be able to speak out and protest and do all those things that we see. Why didn't y'all tell me that the protests were happening in Coachella? I live in Coachella, so I will be in Coachella filming the protests here. There's a lot of illegal immigrants in Coachella, so of course the protest will be here. There's ICE agents here. I would be down there. Pray for my safety. Trump is a great divider. I disagree with you. How you doing, Damage? I think talking about politics is pointless at this moment. Why waste our collective time? You have unwavering faith that you're right. So why try talking facts? I'm always happy to have a good conversation. You know, Benzo, that is why I purposely just show you guys the speaker. I really don't give much commentary through the video because I'm not trying to persuade you of anything. I like you to hear it from the speaker himself. So if it's the president speaking, I try to find the actual speech, not a news clip, but the speech, and I show you protests. You don't have to take my word for anything. I'd rather just show you what's happening in the world, all right? And I look for unedited versions. That's, you know, not too long, but I'm not trying to convince you guys of anything. I'm just having a conversation about the video I just played. If you can't have a good conversation, why waste anyone's time? Okay. I don't respect Trump, Carsino, but you didn't vote either way for either president. So I think you would have said the same thing if Harris was in office. I understand people not respecting Donald Trump. I don't really understand the problem with Donald Trump, because if Donald Trump is saying, number one, we had a border problem. We had problems at the border. Anyone was coming in, and there was a lot of crimes. Crime rates. America isn't as safe as I would like it to be, and the only way for it to be safe again is to get the illegal. I'm not saying all illegal immigrants cause problems. I'm not saying that at all. But you commit a crime by coming here illegally. We can't deny that. So we do have to fix the problem. There's a process to come into the United States, and we have to uphold that law. Okay? It is possible to come here, but you have to be vetted and you have to go through the system. Why are you doing that? Why did I miss something? Why am I doing what? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I missed the video. Damn it. So I played there's the Arsenal. So I played from Pete Hegseth and Elon Musk. They spoke at Starbase for the Arsenal Freedom Tour. I found it a really interesting speech, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I haven't heard from Elon Musk in a long time because we all know that him and Donald Trump have an interesting relationship. But Pete Hegseth, I felt, gave a powerful speech about artificial intelligence and our military and where we're going with it in the 21st century. So I played that for you. When are the midterms? When are the midterms exactly? Wait a minute. You're going to vote against Trump. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to tell you, you're open-minded and it makes sense. I'm open-minded and I'll let people speak. Pete was drunk. Even his mama said that he was a drunk. They show people that struggle with substances and alcohol, whatever. There's geniuses that struggle and drink. There's a lot of people in my chat that drinks right now. I'm pretty sure that doesn't take away from him being intelligent, from him being number one. He spoke beautifully. It was a powerful speech. And it's kind of interesting that people want to bring stuff like that up as if you can't do both. You can't struggle with something and be intelligent. Yeah, I really don't understand it. I think we have this whole thing mixed up. After this move, I'm against him now, after Venezuela? Or were you against him before that, Casino? Because you speak very strongly against what he did over in Venezuela. But Donald Trump did what he needed to do. Yes, he did it without Congress approval. But waiting on Congress is slow to move when it's something that could put Americans at war. And Donald Trump, no troops were harmed. It was a success. He went there to get the president of Venezuela. He got the president and brought the president back. That's a success. Now we'll watch the trial. Last year wasn't Trump problem. Exactly, damage, but people seem to have a short memory about what happened during the Biden administration. Okay, no problem. We're not ready. We're not really ready for peace yet. 8 million Venezuelans are rejoicing. Venezuelans are happy about it, but Casino's not happy about it. Venezuelans are happy with it, but some... Okay. I think I should have read that before I highlighted it. President Trump never drank. US. President Trump is doing awesome. Awesome. And there's going to be people... Okay, so Pete Hegseth did an amazing job at this speech. This tour... AI is taking over, and AI will be in our military whether we like it or not. So it's best just to go along with the times and kind of learn a little bit about it if you choose to. But artificial intelligence is here, and it's only going to get more advanced. And like Hegseth said, it's about the data that you put into artificial intelligence. And it's kind of scary in a way for some of us how fast AI is growing, but it's everywhere, and it's very realistic. But yes, they're using this stuff for surgeries. They're using it in healthcare. It only made sense that the military was next. It only makes sense. Houthi West, there you go. Trump is the best president of all time. Now, I'm not here to preach about Donald Trump, so please don't think that. I'm not. Coachella is a wealthy area. I live in Coachella. You think that Coachella is wealthy? I'm from Coachella Valley, and it's not Palm Springs. I'll say that. There's some nice areas in Coachella, like there's beautiful new homes. Donald Trump was just in Coachella for his rally last year. Coachella's interesting, but it's a heavy Mexican population. And yes, there's a lot of illegal immigrants there. You kind of have to see it to know what I'm talking about, which is why I want to go down there and film. Coachella is probably about 40 minutes from where I live, not to dox myself. and I want to be there. And I don't know why I didn't think, of course, ICE is going to be there. I don't like to see it in my town, honestly, but it's what's happening, and I have to stand by what, you know. I just want to film and bring you guys the news. Don't be mad at me for bringing y'all the news. Don't they have to label it as an AI video? No, damage. I'm talking about so artificial intelligence. So we're talking about like for the military, like not really making videos. Did I miss something that you said, damage? Maybe I missed your comment, so I'll hold off on what I was gonna say. Because he was talking about ways to fight these drones, having long-range drones and hypersonics and things like that. Oh yes, please donate money to support Dr. Manhattan. I'm used to it. It's okay. My opinion, AI was military to teach that they allow public to use creative meaning for digital. There's a lot. Yeah, damage. So I was talking more about how they're fighting. I am outraged. I will not support financial opportunists who hype fascism. Bob Dylan, I'm not sure who you're talking about. I don't think I asked you for anything financially when I have my own finances, but thank y'all for y'all super chats and y'all donations and for supporting my live stream. Don't listen to this guy. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you guys. You said earlier that you're pro-Constitution. Are you pro-Constitution or the ideal of it as a whole? I'm for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights in particular. But yes, I support the Constitution. If there's something in there that needs to be revised, then revise it first, and then I'll change my view. But as of right now, I have to stand by the Constitution. You make money from this? Boblin, do you have an argument, or did you just come to say the obvious? I'm not sure your point. Can you make a point? That's neither here nor there. What are you talking about? It's better if you stay on subject so I can stick to the people that's actually talking about something I can respond and say, who cares? Maduro is a fascist. Do you guys disagree with Maduro being captured? Where are you guys with that? I'm not sure. Some people may not like how Trump went about it, right? They feel like he should have went through Congress. I have a problem with that because Donald Trump did what he needed to do. Biden had a bounty on his head. Donald Trump had a Biden on Maduro's head during his first term. We talked about that. Trump, I want to say Trump put 20 million on Maduro. And then Biden, during his administration, put 25 million, and then Donald Trump doubled that to 50 million. So if we already knew there was a bounty on his head, right, to bring him back, we already knew that. Then how can Americans say they don't support capturing Maduro when we had this bounty on his head? So would you guys have felt the same way if it was Biden? He's been committing crimes against the United States for a long time, and he did not care. He did nothing about it. And Donald Trump, our relationship with Venezuela has been deteriorating since 1999. It was just a matter of time before this was going to happen. That's with Hugo Chavez, you guys. Our relationship was deteriorating, and Donald Trump, we already know, takes a strong stance against the drugs that's coming into this country, as he should, because Americans are being unalived by that, and that's just what's happening. There's no solution. Okay, you guys talking about the Panama Canal. I have my hands full with this conversation, so I'm not going to try to. You can't depend on Congress. Trump did well. Nate, I understand it. I do. Income tax needs to go. Income tax needs to go, and that can happen with tariffs. There was a time when this country was ran on tariffs before income tax. Income taxes funded. Income tax came after tariffs, but there was a time where we did have tariffs, and we wouldn't need income tax if we put tariffs back in place. And it also would encourage Americans to buy American first. Trump, who, man, you guys are wrong. You guys are so wrong. Listen, Nobel Peace Prize winner. I don't know. He committed war crimes. Who committed war crimes? If you're talking about Maduro, that's what's wrong with politics today. You fools don't actually look into anything. You just parrot right-wing media. Right-wing media. I think I've been pretty unbiased in my views. I really try to stay nonpartisan. I try my best. And I allow everybody to speak. I got y'all calling me every name in the book as I'm speaking my points. And I find it interesting that instead of arguing my ideas or the points that I'm bringing out, you want to criticize me as a person. I just played a clip. I'm speaking about the clip. I never really spoke about conservative values versus liberal values. So people voted for Trump and now most regret it. Tim O'Neill, who's most? I don't think most regret it. I think that's what the news is telling you. A lot of people support Donald Trump and still support Donald Trump. People are very worried about midterm elections, as am I. Thank you, Caleb. A lot of people are worried. I do not regret voting for Donald Trump, and I stand by it. I think that anytime a president is talking about doing what's best for American people, and not only is he doing what's best for American people, he is fighting for other countries. We've seen what Donald Trump did in Gaza. We see what he's doing over in Iran as they're doing the protests, and Donald Trump has vowed to protect the Iranians from being harmed during their protests. So we see what's happening in different parts of the country. Donald Trump is strengthening our relationship in Israel because we do have to have strong allies in other countries, and he's building relationships with other countries. However, you cannot commit crimes against the United States and expect to have a good relationship with the United States. So it's about time that Donald Trump looked at some of these policies that we already had in place and revised it, questioned it, threw some of it out because it doesn't work. It's about time that the president did that. All right. So the Democratic Party will fade away. I don't think that's going to happen, Alvin. The Democratic Party, we have the two major parties, the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, and presidents are going to be either Republican or Democrat. I don't know why they keep waiting for one or the other to be independent or liberal or anything else. No, those parties are to support the two major parties. So we're not going to see the Democratic Party fade away. As much as I would, I'm not going to give my comment about the Democratic Party. Anybody's welcome to speak here. I'm not subscribed to any labels like MAGA. I'm not MAGA. Never claimed to be MAGA. So I just want you guys to know that. Or any other. The other one is Christian nationalist, but you won't see a Christian. You're going to see a Republican or a Democratic president. Trump has been an epic failure. Donald, how so? How so? Donald Trump has a high approval rating. I'm a little worried about midterm elections because of the lies that have been told about Donald Trump, the images that they try to portray. We see what's happening in Minnesota, how they're trying to make this lady a martyr that stood in the way of ICE operations, and unfortunately she lost her life over there. But the lies that they're saying and trying to make it seem as if she was this innocent bystander that just happened to be out there, that just happened to, that what is the lie now, that the ICE agent jumped in front of the car? We've seen the videos. They want us to believe something that didn't happen. So yes, this country is in trouble. If they want us to believe things just because they say it, then we're in trouble. You have to think for yourself. You have to look. You have to look for the footage. Don't really listen to what people are saying, but look for the images yourself. And that ICE agent was doing his job, and that lady interfered, and she chose to park her car there. And I'm not saying that the ICE agent did everything correct. I'm not going to say that, right? It was a lot of force used. But to say that he didn't get hit by this car or nicked in the hip, you can't say that. I voted for Trump 3 times. All right, Luis. He did jump in front of the truck. He did not jump in front. What video did you watch, Randy? What video? ICE are not cops, but they're there to do a job. They're there to do a job. I showed a clip yesterday of a police officer getting into these ICE agents' face. Imagine trying to do your job and you're there and you have people being aggressive towards you, grabbing you, that stuff isn't legal. It's not legal because once ICE responds and defends themselves, and people are going to fall apart and play victim as if the ICE agents are antagonizing them. You see the protesters antagonizing ICE, baiting them, rage baiting. It's okay that you call them out of their name. You have the right to free speech, but you do not have the right to touch them. You do not have the right to threaten them, to drive your vehicle towards them in any type of way. If the lady would have stopped, then maybe things would have turned out differently and just gotten out of the car as he was trying to detain her. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. They're probably watching edited versions on CNN. What's interesting, Caleb, is I played a clip from CNN. I played a clip from CNN, and then I played it from somebody's cell phone, different angles from different news sources. And it was interesting that CNN only showed a certain angle, the opposite side of the car from what really happened, and you couldn't really see it. You couldn't really see the incident. So you have to just look. They are literally violating the Fourth Amendment. Okay. ICE isn't illegal. Trump has committed war crimes. Which war crime? She was an agitator. Alvin, she was an agitator, and a lot of those out there are paid agitators. They are. What is MAGA? I think we know what MAGA is. Smart people don't get in front of vehicles. He didn't get in front of a vehicle. I didn't see any video of the ICE agent jumping in front of a vehicle. Listen, I want us to be friends at the end of this conversation. I want this to be a cordial conversation. Okay? Just talk on a live stream and tomorrow just go about your regular life. Tim O'Neill, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yes, tomorrow I will go about my regular life because I have to live my life. What is your point with that? What did you say? All liberals have is insults. Their guy fled the country with illegals who skipped their own due process. Cry some more about ICE. Oh, okay. Young people want to hear saying fascists, have no idea what it really means. I mean, which I really have been talking by left-wing Marxists. Okay. Just don't get stopped by ICE. How can I? Okay, Tim O'Neill. How can I get stopped by ICE? Even if I got stopped by ICE, I was born here. It means I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I can't take the liberals seriously at all. How long I've been here? Okay, you guys, I'm so good. I can't take the liberals seriously at all. They just say stuff with zero reason or understanding of why they're saying it. Absolute empty vessels. Randy, I'll be gone. See, Randy, you're not even making sense, Randy. And that's the stuff that I'm talking about. How will I be gone when I'm born and raised in the United States? Okay? My ancestors came here the right way. Oh, shoot. I just spilled my water in front of you guys. And that's why I usually don't read the chat a lot when I'm playing a video, because the liberals, you guys are throwing a lot of insults at me. I have not called you guys out of your name. I have been extremely respectful, and I simply spoke about Pete Hegseth and Elon Musk at Starbase. Okay? For our Arsenal Freedom Tour. I found that very interesting, and I shared that with you guys. There's no need for the insults. Trump has already threatened to remove natural-born citizens for their speech. You have a clip of that? You have a clip? I will be happy to play that. If you have a clip of that. Who are you and should I like you? I'm just misunderstood. You don't have to like me. You're independent, Randy. You have a tweet, but is it under Donald Trump's verified account? You got to remember there's still a process. All right. Donald Trump has to answer to the Supreme Court. He has to answer to Congress. There's a lot. So things just there's questions. It's not for this stream about natural born citizenships and how people from other countries would have their babies here. Just go back to that country. But if I were to have a baby in China, that baby would not be considered a Chinese citizen. That baby would still be considered an American citizen. So to want to have a baby here and to have the Americans pay for it, healthcare, as the mom maintains dual citizenship or citizenship of her own country, I find problematic, you guys. I don't think that's what the Constitution intended with birthright citizenship. So if you're talking about that, that is a conversation for another day. Right, Timothy. Alvin. From Trump threatening to deport and remove citizenship for Rosie O'Donnell's speech. Okay, so let me talk about this. A lot of the things that Donald Trump says is for shock value. He's in a beef with Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell has said a lot of problematic things. Y'all hear Whoopi Goldberg had to apologize for some of the things that she said during the View. But obviously, he cannot take Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. So you taking that one a little too seriously. Nathan, okay. You taking that one a little too seriously, but I do understand some of you feel like the president shouldn't joke about stuff. But Donald Trump has a sense of humor about certain things, regardless if people get it or not. And again, I'm not here to convince you guys to like Donald Trump at all. I just happen to talk about Donald Trump. Should we or should we not even? Should we just leave that in God's hands? I must have missed something. Where are you? It's on the video. ICE watch groups are training them to attack federal officers. It's insane. It's insane. They all suck. You like Trump, Alvin? Okay, you guys. So there's a lot that's going on, you guys. I'm praying for this country. Getting in ICE hands better. If Trump is senile, then like you guys, if Trump is senile, then Biden is comatose. Okay, you guys. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be up later tonight because the state of Minnesota is suing the Trump administration to halt ICE enforcement. I find that interesting. I need to spend a little time with that video, and maybe I will bring that back tonight. If not, then hopefully I can bring it back tonight since it happened today. If not, I will do it tomorrow. So let me get some rest. I appreciate the conversations. I am praying for this country, regardless if you are Republican or Democrat. We are all in this country together, and this is where we are. We share this great history. We share this country together. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, I just ask that we try to be respectful, even though these conversations get heated. I ignore facts. What facts did I ignore? Oh, Hanson. I was just talking about Minnesota. Good night, Caleb. Good night. I don't think I ignore facts. I just think you have to put it in there. Oh, okay. Rosie was doing it to provoke an episode as where he worked before. They had 67 episodes like that in here. There's one report. Okay. Oh, Hanson, I got you. I'm not trying to ignore you. I got you. There's just, I'm out for the night. Okay, Dr. Manhattan, catch the replay if you want to. You're obviously on the Trump side. I am Republican, but that doesn't mean I can't listen to a Democrat. I have friends that are Democrat. My family's Democrat. I'm trying to convert them, but it's been a little hard and say why blacks should vote for the Republican Party. But I've been Republican before Donald Trump, and I will be a Republican after Donald Trump. I think it's problematic to assume that I should be Democrat. What did Biden say? If you're black, you need to vote for me? Really? That's another conversation for another day. You're very level-headed from what I can see. I like to listen to people. I like to listen. Thank you. Mass, if I said that right. Scott, there's nothing wrong with being Republican. We support traditional values. Okay. Why am I so perfect? They yell out absurdities with no facts behind. It's hard to deal with crazies. You guys have to remember, I just play videos and we talk about the video. I'm Christ-the-kin. I like it. I like to talk about the video, and I do my best to just play it without my input, and I give my commentary at the end because I'm not trying to persuade you, but I will continue to speak the truth. I will continue to shed light, show you what the Republican Party is really about, regardless if you are white, black, or whatever. I get tired of the race thing being brought up a lot, and I think America is tired of race when we are all Americans here. If you are here legally, if you're not here legally, you committed a crime. And I don't care if that crime was committed 20 or 30 years ago, it has taken a toll on the American economy, and it's time to clean it up. And that's all I'm saying. Put America first. And with that being said, I love you guys. And I will talk to you later. Tim, I'm doing fine. Caleb said I'm very white. That's okay, Caleb. We're all one big family. I don't care what color you are. Lionel. January 6th. Why didn't you say that as I'm leaving? It's nothing like November 26th. Okay. Thoughts on the Epstein files? If there was anything, I think that it's interesting that nobody's talking about Bill Clinton being found in the Epstein files. Photograph. Nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about Epstein. Every time I come live, I have people talking about the Epstein files. If Donald Trump if there was anything about Donald Trump in that Epstein file that would have been incriminating, it would have been brought out during the Biden administration, especially when Democrats had control of the office. Those Epstein files, Biden had full control and authority to release the Epstein files. Congress would have backed it, and it didn't happen. And now, to distract from what President Trump is doing, number one, this is his second term. So they want to bring up the Epstein files. They want to deflect on that. But they don't want to talk about the Democrats that's in the Epstein files. They just want to paint this picture of Donald Trump. That's what I think about that. All right, I love you guys. Talk later. Bye-bye. Good night, Jerome. Visit my page. Let's talk. Tim O'Neill, leave me a comment under any of my videos so I can find you. Just leave any random comment and I can find you like that. Okay. All right, you guys. Hopefully we'll talk later. Bye.